Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Today we are going to be talking about this stuff. So, since I posted my video yesterday, which was about toxic ritualistic reinforcement, I've noticed a not drastic, but definitely much more hate pretty much right after I did that video, which is really interesting to me. So I already told you guys where I think the hate comes from. I think it comes from this, again, huge minority of people who have issues with certain things. I have to be kind of sketchy about how I talk about it because you know YouTube, they're going to do their thing. But I think that the more I see it, the more I am convinced, I guess, because the timing is just a little too perfect. I also want to talk about this topic because this person in particular, they are in the mids and they're getting a lot of hate, especially from their fat friends. And I want to talk about it because it's exactly what I was talking about in my video yesterday. So if you did not see that, if you're interested in it, I talk about the types of things that people say to you to get you to stop or to upsize. And I talked about what to say to that and what to do about it. It is restricted for 18 plus. But I just have to keep talking about it because I want people who need to see it. That's why I'm talking about it. I will put a link in the description below. But let's go ahead and get into this because this is exactly what I was talking about. This is hate in the mids. Hating on us in the mids. The haters. So I need to say something too. I'm going to just address something to my new crop of haters. I don't know if you know me, but I've been pretty fucking clear. For one, I'm an activist. I don't care about approval. When you are an activist, your job is to piss people off. You are trying to change course or change the message about something. I know hate comes with it. I don't care. I have the temperament for it. I don't care. Number two, you're not going to control me. I don't think I've ever given you the impression that I'm controllable. It's not going to happen. I literally talked about it in my video, how people with these issues, they try to control you. I told you, you're not going to control me. You're just going to get triggered over and over and over and over again. You might want to go elsewhere, because you're not going to like the direction of this channel. You're not going to like the fact that I continue to lose. You're not going to like the fact that I am becoming thin. You're not going to like it because it breaks your delulu. And I don't have to do anything crazy to get there either. I can be perfectly healthful and get there. I can lose the same 2 pounds per week that I have the whole time. With a sensible deficit, I can do it all. You're going to see it happen over time, and you're going to get more and more upset if you stay. Now, those of you guys who are this angry about it, you're obviously so deeply in your issues. I'm not here to try to fix you out of that issue. I don't care. Go off and be a freak somewhere else. Go have your problems somewhere else. You're not going to be reinforced here. You're not getting the reinforcement. I've made it very, very clear. It's not happening. It's not going to happen. You can try to make it happen. It's not going to. So you're not going to stop me, for one. For those of you that are recovering from these issues, I will continue to talk about this stuff. For those of you who are just wanting to lose weight or understand these issues, I will continue to move forward. I keep in perspective often that the amount of hate and this weirdness that I'm seeing, particularly with YouTube and all this other stuff, it is a minority of people. And I'm aware of that. So I'm not like really going to change anything, if that makes any sense. I think if I was totally flopping as an activist and being totally misunderstood, then maybe I'd have to change something, but that is not the case. I have many of you guys are very grateful for the video I did yesterday. And I'm glad that you appreciated it. And we're going to keep cooking here. We're going to keep doing it. But I'm in the mids. This person is in the mids. They're experiencing issues. Let's talk about it. Okay. More hate, the more in shape I get. Hey guys, I was originally about 260. I weigh 210 now. Over the past 1.5 years, I've lost weight and taken breaks to build muscle and then continued to lose fat. I notice the closer I get to my goal weight 180, the more hate I seem to get. When I was fat, only some people I knew were mean called me fat. It seems the closer I get to my goals, the fit people I'm friends with take me more seriously and hype me up on my muscle gains and fat loss. But the out of shape people I'm friends with started telling me I'm fat or that I don't look like I have muscle when they have always told me I looked fine at my heaviest. So, from the video yesterday, I literally said in the beginning that within the mids, there is a duality. So what is that duality? That duality is I'm fat, but I'm not fat. So you're two things at once. People cannot stand it. By the way, for my Astro Girly Pops, we are in Gemini season. It's a very Gemini thing. I feel like being in the mids is very Gemini. I feel like I've known a lot of Geminis to be in the mids, actually, now that I think about it. But anyways, the point is, that was a weird thought in my mind. The point is, there's duality. Why is duality bad? It's not. Duality is bad to people who think incredibly black and white. And who does? People within the toxic ritualistic world. If you don't know what that is, I have a video in the description describing what that is. But people with those issues, they cannot handle black and white, or things that are not black and white. They can't handle gray. So what did I say in the video? I literally said, people will try to push you in one place or the other. I think a lot of the times people who have issues where they're doing too much, they will try to force fatness onto you still, which is what this person is describing in this post. People who are more, no, it's not just that. They will also say, no, and it really is across the spectrum. Sorry, I was flopping with that statement. So pretty much all of them will do that. They'll say, you're still fat, or they'll say, oh my gosh, you're scarily thin. So that's where it will go. So they'll try to polarize you as a mid. So that's basically what I see happening with this when this person is writing this comment. The fat friends are like, you are so fat. You're still fat. You're still fat. You're still fat. That's how it's presenting for that person. Now, when it comes to the fit friends, not caring, taking you seriously and all this stuff, I think what happens with that is a lot of people who are in shape, they hear a lot of people talk about it, but they aren't actually about it. And so when they see somebody actually being about it, they do hype you up. They also don't have any reason to be jealous because they're already in shape anyways. And also people who get in shape, they know that it's pretty much available to most people as it was available to them. And it's not like the be all end all of everything, basically, unless if they have some other issues going on. And for most people that don't have any issues, which again, most people don't have E followed by the letter D. So for most people that are in shape, they just see it kind of normally and they're just like, oh, that's amazing that you're doing well. Let's do this. And they probably like that you're in shape and they like that you can kind of do more stuff. And they could be like, oh, like we could do this together. We could do that. Da, da, da. It just changes things. And I also think you just have more in common. You probably have less in common with your fatter friends as things have shifted. So there's just a lot of stuff like that. But I do think it's possible that a lot of those fatter friends have toxic ritualistic issues and they are doing this to you in the mids, which is exactly what I talked about. They want you to regain. So let's go ahead and read the responses and we'll see what they have to say. I used to have a similar-ish manner when I was heavier. It really just stems from internal insecurities about watching other people succeed where you yourself failed. So instead of trying to pull yourself up, you instead try and pull others down so that we can all be on a more equal level. That's sad. I do like the self-awareness in this statement. I would add another layer. I think that there is an aspect of trying to keep, in a lot of people's cases, well, not a lot, but in certain people's cases, I think it's people trying to keep that coping mechanism of theirs alive. So it's tied to an anxiety response, and being around you is triggering to them. Seeing you is triggering to them. All these different things are bothering them. So I think that that's also part of it. That's also part of what happens as well. Yes, my then best friend became very bitter that we could no longer stuff our faces and drink wine all day together, and did that to me all the time. That could be true too. They could just be mad about changing dynamics and things like that, but they thought for some reason it's fine to insult my appearance and lifestyle once I got closer to, quote, conventionally attractive. Whatever that means. I said goodbye and never shed a tear for that friendship. It's easier said than done, but my answer to that is ditch them. They don't wish what is best for you. They are not your friends. I think it's just really weird. It's really, really weird. Thank you for your words. This is the OP. You're right. I feel like people sometimes set an image for you that you'll always be the fat friend they can bash. And once you break out of the image they try to get you back there. Well, this person's aware that they're trying to get them back. That's very true, in my opinion. I have experienced this as well. People that weren't as heavy as me now feel threatened as they are in danger of being heavier. Change for some people can be very difficult, and more so if they use you as their benchmark on their own weight issues. You will find not everyone will be thrilled with your transformation efforts. Some will not so secretly cheer for you to fall off the wagon. Best of luck to you. I described it the way that I did in that video. Please check out that video if you're interested. But yeah, I think it goes back to that stuff. I'm going to continue to stress that it is a minority. Like, notice it's like mostly one or two friends. Like, it's not like every single friend you have. It's not all this stuff. It's interesting. People act the same way when I went vegetarian and said I wanted to go to college. Yet because I stopped eating bacon and eating more fruits and vegetables, I lost 30 pounds in 2 months. Also, from dropping sodas and switching to sparkling water, I dropped another 5 pounds. Gained it back the moment I started to listen to other people. Just do what makes you happy and stop worrying about the haters. Okay. This has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. I agree with this. This is a very good statement. These friends were shitty people even when you were heavier. But now that they see you losing weight, they feel insecure and bad about themselves when they see you. They feel threatened because they see you doing what they aren't doing. They want you to feel bad about yourself so that they can feel better. See, I think this is what's so interesting about the mids and about the mid-size phase in general. I, in my mind, have always kind of compared the tortured era. If you remember my tortured era from a year ago, have the picture. I'm like this or whatever. I can't do it right, but I don't remember. But some of you guys, some of my members, you guys might have that as your thing, your little badge. But I think about that era a lot when I was morbidly obese, and there were so many of these internal issues, and I was kind of like internally tortured. I think the mid-size era is similar, but it's all external. It's all social. It's all of these types of things. So it's like, I don't have this, like, I don't know who I am without my issue, without the toxic ritualistic behaviors. I don't know who I am without that. That's what I was feeling when I was tortured. It was like I was doing these things where I didn't think it was possible. But now it's like I'm past all that. And I'm dealing with other people seeing things that they didn't think were possible in me. And it's very bizarre. And I'm so glad that I'm strong internally at this time, because it could have been a lot worse. if I wasn't, but I'm just not strong socially. So it's really difficult and kind of awkward for me a lot. But like I said, I don't really care if I trigger people. I just don't. Honestly, I don't. Which I guess, I'm the type of person that isn't supposed to do this, I guess. I told you guys I was never going to virtue signal in the mids. I was never going to be humble about it. I was never going to be, oh, I don't know. Oh, I was so lucky. Oh, da da da. I was never going to do any of that stuff. It's like, no, this is reality. Y'all need to get a grip. This is reality. I don't just get on here and talk and yap and yap and yap. I've been doing the damn thing. Period. I'm continuing to do the damn thing. I've been doing the damn thing the whole time. Hello? Reality's knocking. You've been wrong the whole time. I was right the whole time. They don't like that. Poor babies. You guys don't like that. But like I told you, you're not going to get the reinforcement here. So for all my peeps that are freaking out and, oh gosh, you're losing the weight. Oh my gosh, I hate you now. I hate you now. For all y'all, just know, I don't care. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. I don't care. I said that the whole time. They still try. They can't help it. But they are not logical. They don't think rationally. So it's like, if you have somebody doing this stuff, I can understand the idea of just being like, I'm not going to be friends with this person anymore, because you're not necessarily going to change their mind on this. I do wonder if there are certain interventions or certain things that can be created in the future, but I don't have any insight on that. I've told you guys from the beginning, I have no idea how to wake somebody up out of it. The only goal that I've had with this channel and with my activism is obviously changing how these issues are talked about and changing the perspectives of people who want to get out, and showing that it's possible and talking about how it's possible, especially from an emotional perspective, as that is often never talked about. And it was something that I desperately needed 10 years ago. I needed somebody to talk about the emotional side of this issue. And so, as they say, you be the change that you want to see in the world, and that's what I'm doing. So it's like, why are people so pissed that I am losing weight? Why were people so pissed that this person was? Perhaps they were also emotional. Perhaps they were somebody that had these issues. And there's nothing that people in the problem hate more than somebody who recovers. Because what people in these issues think is they think, oh, well, if that like, let's say they do believe weight loss is possible, which honestly, that can be kind of rare. We'll throw that out. Let's say they do believe in it. They believe that only a certain type of person can lose the weight. Well, they're just really tough. They're just really practical. They're just really logical. They got their shit together. They were doing all this stuff. They're sunny. They have a sunny disposition. They're a people pleaser type. They're that way. So of course they lost the weight. Of course they did. They're charming. They're this. They're that. They have it all. Why wouldn't they have that? But when I do it, the emotional girly pop, the one that is, I've got mid-riz at best, let's be honest. I don't think I'm the worst for an introvert, but honey, I wouldn't fly compared to any extrovert at all. Somebody who's very obviously had EFOD by the letter D, struggled with it for years and years and years. Somebody who talked about these issues, lost the weight publicly, and, with a slow but steady effort over years of time, in a realistic, hyper-realistic way, even for people with physical issues. Like I had hypothyroidism. I don't even know if I have it anymore, to be honest. I think it's okay now. I don't really have any symptoms. I'll put it to you that way. People don't like that. They don't like that I didn't use Ozempic. They don't like that I didn't get surgery. And why is that? Because I wasn't supposed to do it. I wasn't supposed to. And you know that's exactly why I did it publicly. Because I'm here for the people who have hope, for the people who want to. You can. If I can, anybody can. Put it to you that way. You know, my story with this, it's tragically typical. But that's a good thing, because it means that as tragically typical as it is, it means that you can also get out. And yeah, there will be haters. There will. And I'll do my best to have an example of how to handle them. And I do feel that pressure quite heavily in this moment. And I don't know exactly what to do, but it's okay. But I can assure you what's not going to happen is I'm not going to quit. And I'm not going to regain, and I'm not going to do all that. That's not going to happen. So, anyways, let's continue. People who do not hype up your success, regardless of their size, are not your friends. I agree. When I was my fittest, I got comments on my figure daily, how it fell short of being muscular, how I was too muscular, how I was too big, how it was goals, how I was thick, how I was skinny, about my butt. Honestly, anything and everything you can imagine. I am a woman who is very dense muscularly, and I carry all my weight in my lower half and have a small upper body, slim thick, if you will. Now that I have dealt with the hormone imbalance and gained a bunch of weight, people barely comment except to let me know I'm not small. A-holes, right? I've lost about 30 pounds, have 25 more to go, and the comments are starting to come back. I'm starting to realize it's when people are threatened or jealous, or when you have a figure that stands out, they need to say something. Because why else would they comment? People are effing weird. You put the consistent work and effort in, and one day people notice the results and I think it somehow bothers them. Kind of like when we watch the Olympics and judge the gymnastics, and all of us are suddenly experts, even though a majority of us can't do a cartwheel. A lot of people who would never have the determination or dedication to work on their bodies are more than willing to be critical of someone who has done the work. That's very true as well. I agree with that. I'm probably going to talk more about Gen Pop issues, like I said, later in the next era, because this is in my opinion, this is a very good description of general population problems. So I'm reading, I'm learning, okay? A lot of people who would never have the determination with that. It reminds me of when I was an overweight teen and I would look at supermodels in magazines and decide what kind of body I wanted or which ones I didn't like. I was genuinely critical of their bodies, thinking, I wouldn't want one like that, while I sat there obese and eating marshmallows. This isn't to say you or I are supermodels or bodybuilders. This is to say that it is very easy for people to sit back and judge and pick apart others while doing nothing to work on their own body. Because my gym buddies never comment on my figure except to build me up positively, it's everyone else. And I would never comment on someone else's. They're Judge Judy's, and the best responses I've come up with when people say things are, why would you say that? Or is there a reason you're commenting on my figure? It's interesting. I think those comments will probably come later for me, if they do come. I don't know, because I don't know that I've necessarily reached a point where Gen Pop would be upset or triggered. I think because I'm not getting that many comments. I think it's a very specific thing for me right now. But I do wonder what will happen. Obviously, I'm sitting here like, I went to the thrift store today. I bought a lot of larges. And I'm probably going to start wearing new clothes on here and stuff. And it's because I'm going down another size. So it's like I have to think about these things a little bit. But like I said, I take my role seriously and I take what I'm doing seriously. So I can't say that I'll have it figured out immediately, but all I can say is I will figure it out to the best of my ability as I go through it. But okay, crabs in a bucket. I agree. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. This video can be a little shorter. But I want to go ahead and thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for those of you who are supportive. It does not, which is the vast majority of you, let's be so real. I hit 5,000 yesterday and like last night. And it means a lot. I almost don't believe it. I don't know why. Like, I think I have a lot of those moments lately where I'm in disbelief a lot. And it means the world. It just does. It really does. Like, I'm not going to act like I don't care. I'm not going to act like I'm nonchalant about it. I'm not. It just does. It absolutely means the world. And I'm really grateful to you guys who watch and stuff, because it enables me to keep going. And I'm grateful to my members as well. You guys do support me too to keep going. So I really appreciate you guys so much. And I'm so grateful to people who have had an open mind and who have been willing to be challenged at certain points in this journey. And here we are at another point, right? But that's okay. I'm just really, really grateful, honestly, for that. And I'm so excited. You know, all I can tell you is I'm not anywhere near done. I am planning. I always I've been really on that INFJ tear lately. I'm an INFJ, so I plan. I have been planning. I've been doing a lot of conceptualization for this year, the rest of this year and next year. And I think we're going to be talking about some different topics soon, a little bit different. And I'm excited because, like I told you guys, I typically form my activism around the year before. So all this stuff that I've been talking about for the past year, it's stuff that I really, really thought deeply about and experienced and stuff within 2023. And now going into the rest of the year, which I'm not saying I'm going to switch it up like a light switch or anything. I'm just saying I'm going to start talking about other things within this journey going into 2020, the rest of 2025. I think I'm going to talk a lot about getting your life back, going out there, taking chances, right? Getting things moving again. I want to talk about other aspects of losing weight, but honestly, the point of getting your life back, I think, is really important, because we have to also talk about what happens after recovery. And that's what I want to talk about too. So we'll be doing a lot of new things, but not anything right away. It's still going to be a minute. I want to wait till I'm in my thin era, basically. So I think we'll continue as things are for now, but especially because I'm here. I'm in the mids and it's just so triggering. Oh my gosh. It's so triggering. So obviously we're going to keep talking about it, but I'm excited for the future. And I think going into next year, we might talk more about different phases within the activism, and that's exciting too. So we're going to talk. I'm going all the way. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Lots of stuff going on in my brain. So I got ideas. I'm not going to say anything right this second just because I don't know exactly about. All I can tell you is, baby, let the games begin, period. So if we're going in another hate wave, whatever. It's nothing I wasn't prepared for. I'll see you guys later. Bye.